Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to be talking about the free banner and mainly the free ticket. This ticket here, which enables you to pick one festival character that released before September 2022. That does include the September 2022 festival, and it does not include Dark or Light characters. So this is the lineup of characters you can pick from. It's not too bad. You got a few LRs in here, so you got LR Lostvayne, you got Lolly Merlin, you've got Margaret, and you've got LR Queen Diane. So if you're wondering, let's just say you can pick from any of them really, and you're missing an LR, I would actually recommend picking the character as an LR. Even if it's a character like Lostvayne, whose LR is actually very mediocre, it's still worth giving them a pick, because LRs are quite decent CC, and that's really it. Lostvayne does have one use, he's good for OG Demon, that is really it, and maybe Chaos PvP when it comes back every now and again. Basically every collab is when it comes back. Yeah, the LRs are worth it. Once again, if you want dupes for Lolly Merlin, here is LR Lolly Merlin. Of course, these aren't the LR variations of them. These are pre-LR variations, so you will have to LR them. But if you're missing them, they're always worth a grab, especially Lolly Merlin and Queen Diane. Margaret, it's sort of fallen off quite a bit, but if you don't have the premium goddess team, this is definitely a good character to pick up. She's got a decent cleanse. Passive is decent. AoE's okay, but you're mainly picking her because she's actually a not too bad LR. Other festivals, Estarosa's not a bad shout. We have actually been giving him for free, so this banner itself, you get a free copy of Green Hawk, you get a free copy of Blue Estarosa, which isn't bad, especially if you do not have Red Estarosa. Just Blue Estarosa just a little bit squishier, because he doesn't have the 30% all-stat boost that the Red Estarosa gives to himself after 2 turns, which is pretty broken. But what this Estarosa does have instead is encroachment, an ability to basically give 50% basic stat boost when encroachment, which once again, like I said, is actually a 40% all stat lower. You do require 4 stacks of darkness to get it, but it is still very useful. Darkness also increases the damage they take by 10% up to 5 times, so the enemies can take realistically 40% increased damage taken, because that's when you inflict encroachment itself, and that's when you normally kill them. But it's a very, very decent passive still, especially for a newer player who's in the lower ranks of PvP. You'll get a copy of Red Hawk. If you have been collecting Green and Red Hawk for a while, you should already have them 6/6 and should have them 6/6 for quite a while. You've got Blue Zeldris, which can be LR'd into LR Blue Zeldris, which is pretty cool. You've then got this Grimoire, who is... this is the Grimoire that got nerfed, and we got really really well rewarded from the nerf, which was really cool. But yeah, he should be 6/6 already as well. AM Melee, this is the old AM Melee, so he's not the worst. He's really bulky still, because once again his passive makes it so he gets 5% own stats, increase own stats by 5%. It doesn't say all stats, it says own stats. I guess it means all stats by 5%, and it's still a decent character. Of course, the new AM Melee is going to completely wipe him out of the field, which is fine. It's what you expect from a new character, but he's still not a bad character to get for free. The banner itself is really mediocre. It's got a lot of it's just got a lot of odd characters, really, none that you're realistically going to use. Blue Mono, maybe if there's a final boss that requires Blue Mono, then maybe you will. Red Jericho you're not really going to use. Red Arthur, he's not a bad human support. Increase the allies' max HP by 30% and their damage dealt to enemies by 20% if every ally is a human, so it's not bad, but you're not really going to use it. You probably use Green Arthur over it, because once again he works in the back line, you get a nice HP boost, you get crit defense boost if you're debuffed. Green Sire is always nice to have dupes for, he's a Link character, so why not. Scardy's not bad. This Elaine isn't too bad. Melee is pretty mid. This Diane is good for demons, which isn't bad. This is also not a bad Liz. It's the crit defense Liz, but I don't really care. And Camilla, this is a horrendous Camilla, because we have Green Camilla now. But yeah, not too bad of a banner. If you are going to pick, make sure you pick a character that is quite useful. So characters that aren't really that useful at the moment, or just in general. This Liz, good old OG First King. Escanol's, yeah, he's just not good. Executioner's Eldritch, he's a backline support, he's not really too good. Cusack might actually come back, once again, because if you know what Cusack does, your allies do additional damage with single target skills based on the additional damage of the enemy's max HP. So if HP based characters do come back, Cusack is not a bad option. I always recommend if you are missing, let's say, a random, let's say you're missing like one character, let's say you're missing OG First King. Yes, he's not good, but it's always good to get a dupe of him. Not only has he a lot of GP points and box CC, but if he gets an LR, you've got the character already, which is good. Because once again, realistically, is this King going to get an LR? No. Is Liz going to get an LR? No. Is Escalor going to get an LR? No. Lolly Merlin won't, Zeldris won't, Barn probably won't, Cusack possibly, Gotha possibly, Estarossa possibly. Like, characters that haven't already got an LR form could possibly get an LR. Do I think we'll get blue LR Estarossa? There is quite a possibility that I think we do. Mainly to replace the red Estarossa. Red Estarossa is actually very good, but I feel like blue could definitely be much stronger and much better, especially if you got an LR variation. It could be game over. Encroachment's really powerful. It's really good against basically any team. You know, lowering your all stats by 40%, that's basically no lifesteal, that's no crit resistance. Most characters nowadays are about 110, so you're lowering about 40, that's about 70% crit resistance, which is, it's not bad. You're still going to basically nuke them. And also you got the basic stat boost, the damage increase taken, which I think if they were to LR it, maybe make it so it's an all stat boost instead of a basic stat boost, you could be looking at one of the most terrifying LRs in the game. Of course, it does require the darkness stacks, but I think a few PvE pieces of content are immune to it. But if you're looking for just straight up dupes, let's say you own every character here, definitely go for, I would say, either Diane or Merlin, because Diane, her ultimate does scale, like, it's very, like, pay-to-win scale. What I mean by that is you can see, like, Quelled's only 5%, and healing's only 3%, right? Okay, then it's 10%, 5%, 15%, 8%, 20%, 12%, 35%. Look at that jump, 20% to 35%. And then at 6/6, it's 50%. And this ultimate, mixed with LR Diane's passive, is crazy powerful. It used to be, I think it used to actually be one of the strongest ultimates in the game. Because she could have like a minimum damage of like 100k, now being 150k. You know, with her relic, she gives herself a 30% damage increase. Her passive, they even gave her like an additional like, I think 50%, so you're looking at 80% damage increase. And this ultimate that had Quell and healed your team, so it's another 150% damage dealt because of Quell, and you would nuke the team, or about 100% damage increase. I don't really know with Diane's taunt. It's 2 buffs or 1. I don't know if it's 2 buffs or 1. It could be 2 buffs, it could be 1 buff. Sorry, it could be 2 or 3 buffs. But if you're looking for dupes, definitely Diane. Or Merlin. If you're looking to go for like a character that could be LR'd, so you want to get a character, let's say you're missing a lot, let's say you've got the LRs, but you're missing all the random odds and ends, I would say Gotha's probably one of the better shouts. Gotha's not got an LR, he's a Sin, and I feel like this version could quite easily get an LR. He's quite good, his relic is quite decent. You know, he's got a block skill effect, which once again they could buff, make it quite a bit better. Pulverize, they can make it a little bit better as well. His passive is quite good support. It isn't linked to a race either, which is really handy, because nowadays a lot of festivals are linked to race and or characteristic. His relic is really good when he gets max ult gauge. Everyone in your team gets a 25% attack related stats buff. That is great, by the way, which cannot be removed. So if you max out his passive and get the relic boost, that is a 45% attack related stat boost. He also increases your max HP by 10%, but they could quite easily make this a much stronger Gotha, and I would like to see this one get the LR personally. Ultimate's okay. His ultimate, once again, is quite pay-to-win scale. It does remove ult gauge, does damage based on the enemies, but based on his max HP, which isn't really that good. 8% is nothing. Even at 6/6, it's only 40%, and it does delete all cards. If I was to show you my ult levels, so let me actually, I can't even show you my ult levels. Can I? I can! Oh! That's sick! I didn't realise that was on here. I wish I noticed that earlier. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of my characters are 6/6, at least all the LRs are. You can sort of see who I do and don't care about. Cusack, I've only actually got him from like a pity thing once, where he was given for free, or I pulled him on a random banner. Same with King. Melee, I will get 6/6 with the free thing here. Gotha, I probably actually going to end up picking Gotha or Cusack here. Getting Gotha 6/6 is pretty good. Characters that are like really old and don't really appear on banners are always quite good ones to grab. Of course, recently we did see the fact they did bring back, you know, normal the 1 Escanor, which is, it's kind of iffy. I have my views on it. I think it's kind of stupid putting in very old Festivals that couldn't compete in even modern PvE, and they were only really good at their time for a bit before they got nuked out of the meta by better replacements. But yeah, just make sure you pick one of the LRs if you don't have the LRs, or if not, try and pick a character who you want ult scaling with, or if you've got all of them here, or you're missing a few here, go for the ones that you think could get an LR in the future, just because, you know, it is a possibility. Estarossa, you're looking at Cusack, you're looking at Gotha, that could get an LR, because King's got an LR. you know, basically every character here has an LR other than these 3 here. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope it was enjoyed, and make sure you pick the character you need the most. Anyway, see you in the next videos, guys. Goodbye.